So, how do you discern God's will in a potential relationship and with the decision making? I don't know. I mean, I hear that when you know. But here is where I started. Now, listen, I can't believe I'm going to put this out there like this in the universe, but I'm gonna. And I'm going to do this because it's in the hopes that it helps somebody listening. I want to role model what I believe is a super healthy exercise. Right. There's a great saying. I think Chuck Swindoll came up with it. He's the one who told me, and that is thoughts disentangle themselves over the lips and through the fingertips. When you say something, when you write it, things make sense. And so I took time to write a blog that I'm going to share with you. If you're interested, I'll give you the URL that it talks about who I am, who I want to be, what I want to be out of a partner, what I want to be to them. And I wrote it. I wrote it down. I wrote it down for me to hear it. I've edited it over the years. It's my North Star of dating. And I think it's really, really healthy to do. I've actually sent this out to a few people that I was in relationships with, but here's the deal. I think it's important enough that I'm going to put a link to it on this toddturner.com. You can go take a look, not so you can see that I did anything great, but you can get a feel for what maybe you could do with that exercise, right? Try it yourself. Don't let 100-word bio limit on a dating app say everything there is to say about yourself and to your potential partner. Write something longer. Now, I've heard some people say, I don't want to reveal too much on the bio. I want it all to come out organically. I get that. But how many people do you have to spend how much time with in order to find out that you're not or never will be in alignment? So maybe if they read a little bit about you, a deeper dive, it wouldn't take 30 dates to figure it out that this isn't going to work. If I just would have known that was their life goal right off the beginning, I'm not going to be a missionary in Uganda. And so we're not a thing, right? Okay, topic change. Let's talk about women and red flags. Don't ignore them. And why? Just why? I feel like too many times I hear women say, well, I saw these red flags, but listen, if I sniff a red flag, I run. Why stick around for clear red flags? Well, he said he wouldn't hit me. It was just his ex wife. I mean, I know he just came out of a divorce, but he seemed really stable. Like, I know he lives at home, but that's just because his last boss was a jerk. I know he's a horrible communicator, but he's just been so busy at work. I mean, come on, there are some giant differences between red flags and imperfection. We will really unpack this in a different episode, but red flags are red flags. Listen to your close friends, not to your heart. Your heart will lie to you, it just will. Your desire to be in a relationship will put blinders on your eyes. Red flags are just that. Observe them and act accordingly. Here are some practical tips and advice I have collected for navigating Christian dating and dating apps. One, take breaks. It works in cycles. It's super frustrating, but breathe a little bit. It's okay to turn them off. It can be exhausting. I've deleted, hid, blown out all the apps over and over on my phone. Go your speed. And realize there's a giant cultural phenomenon happening. I call it the buffet mentality. No one eats steaks and eggs anymore. We walk to a buffet, we put on what we want on our plate, and we can walk to our table and we'll see somebody come by with shrimp. Like, oh, I didn't know we had shrimp. Just go get rid of that food. Let me go back and get the shrimp. There's always that fear of missing out, and I think I can do better. No one just takes the steak and the potatoes to their table anymore, and this is causing a problem. There's always something better out there. All right, here's something controversial. No sex, at least for a month. Like, if the person waits on you, they may actually want to get to know you. Now, 90% of the people listening to this podcast are having sex. Statistically, it's just true. So let's be practical here, folks. I know it's a Christian dating app, and no, we're not supposed to have sex. But guess what? What we are. But I'm telling you, those that are listening, you wonder why you blow through people. Sometimes it's the sex the genie is out of the bottle. And if somebody isn't willing to wait to get to know you, they're not willing to wait. That's a great litmus test. Don't have sex early, and your relationships will go a lot better, a lot better. Have effective communication strategies. What's up? What are your weekend plans? Those are not healthy signs of communication. Good morning. Hey, cutie. Get to know each other. See who really leans in with you. Sporadic little texting is not relationship building. If somebody can't be in a good adult conversation, offer to have a video date with you and get to know you, they're not your person. And listen, culture matters, not race, culture. I tell my kids this all the time. I really don't care about the race you date. I don't think it matters, but culture does matter. I'm going to give you a story of two white people that I know of. One was from Ireland, where it's wet and cold, and the other was from Arizona. They met in college and they got married and they moved back to Ireland. Well, back for him, not for her. She was miserable. She didn't know people. She didn't like the food. And quite frankly, she didn't like being wet. And they moved, because of the strain it put on their marriage, they moved back to Arizona. And guess who was unhappy there? The guy. This has nothing to do with race. This is culture. They grew up in different cultures, and it was a lot harder to mesh than they would ever thought, because when you're in love, you think love conquers all. Beware of culture, of the person you're dating and who and what they are and what their family is, because those are really hard to mesh sometimes. To navigate this stage of singleness, you must understand the importance of patience, trust, and surrendering to God's timing in the dating process. Now, I want to end where we began today. Most all of you listening need more work on yourself before you get out there. If you are not in regular counseling or have never been, I venture to say you are not ready. You aren't healthy enough to date seriously. Take time to heal. It will make everything else go way smoother later. Also, as negative and time consuming and frustrating as online dating can be, do have fun. I'm a big believer in testing and training your relationship muscles. We'll talk more about dating and finding your next partner in a future episode. This one was more of the navigating dating apps episode, and to throw a warning shot your way. If you want to see what my personal dating manifesto looks like, and maybe consider writing something for yourself, just go to toddturner.com/divorce and tell a friend about this podcast. It really helps when you subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. So if you want more help with your online dating, maybe your profiles, or to go look at my dating manifesto that I put up, go to toddturner.com/divorce, where you can get more things to help you on your singleness journey, your divorce journey. Maybe you are ready to date, and let's just go a little bit deeper. All right, blessings. See you soon.